Bitcoin has come a long way from an internet experiment to a digital gold rush. But what happens when the world's biggest companies join the game? In today's video, we are diving into the journey of Bitcoin holdings of private companies, and how positions of MicroStrategy, Tesla and other have grown over time. Let's get started. At the beginning of 2020, Bitcoin is trading at $7,000, and private companies started to build noticeable Bitcoin reserves. Early adapters are mostly Bitcoin mining companies, which held Bitcoin as part of their operations. In March 2020, COVID changes everything. Bitcoin started the year with moderate gains, reaching levels above $10,000, but faced a dramatic dip during the market crash, dropping below $5,000. But the pandemic also significantly accelerated corporate Bitcoin adoption. Governments around the world implemented massive stimulus measures, raising concerns about inflation. In July 2020, MicroStrategy became the first publicly traded company to invest a significant portion of its cash reserves in Bitcoin. They invested $250 million when Bitcoin was trading at $12,000 per coin, calling Bitcoin a superior store of value compared to cash. In September 2020, MicroStrategy is followed by Block, which purchased $50 million worth of Bitcoins. Institutional adoption gains traction, and in its year-end rally, Bitcoin surged to 29,000. In early 2021, Tesla revealed a $1.5 billion Bitcoin purchase, further legitimizing corporate interest. Estimates showed that Tesla made more money from its Bitcoin investments in 2021 than it did in profits from selling cars in all of 2020. Growing corporate adoption pushes Bitcoin all the way to $64,000. In the middle of 2021, we see another correction with Bitcoin dropping below $30,000. This was due to Elon Musk's critique on Bitcoin's environmental impact and China's crackdown in mining. Towards the end of 2021, we see Bitcoin's recovery driven by inflation fears and the US approving Bitcoin exchange-traded funds. Bitcoin reaches $69,000 in November, but things will decline from here. Going into 2022, we see a brutal year for Bitcoin amidst the collapse of various crypto firms. In May 2022, Bitcoin falls below $30,000 following the lunar crypto crash, but things didn't end there. In November 2022, Bitcoin dropped to $15,000, its lowest level since 2020, as the collapse of the FTX exchange shook confidence in the entire crypto sector. In the case of MicroStrategy, their holdings were worth $7 billion in November 2021 and fall down to $2 billion by the end of 2022. Following the brutal 2022 crypto winter, many corporations reassessed their Bitcoin strategies. But by early 2023, the market showed signs of stabilization. Companies like MicroStrategy continued to accumulate Bitcoin, reinforcing confidence in the long-term potential. Bitcoin rebounded as macroeconomic conditions stabilized and investor sentiment improved. Major institutions like BlackRock filed for Bitcoin ETFs, and Bitcoin recovers to $31,000 by July. Firms like Coinbase and Galaxy maintain significant holdings, benefiting from the broader market recovery. Tesla, which had paused Bitcoin transactions in 2021, retained its holdings but refrained from additional purchases. Bitcoin mining companies like Marathon and Riot increased their holdings, leveraging their operations to accumulate Bitcoin at lower costs. In February 2024, the value for one Bitcoin exceeds $50,000, and the value of MicroStrategy's entire holdings exceeded $10 billion for the first time. But this is just the beginning, as they started to aggressively buy more. Their CEO repeatedly raised concerns about inflation and sees Bitcoin as superior store of value, given the Bitcoin supply is fixed at 21 million coins. MicroStrategy substituted cash from its balance sheet into Bitcoin, believing that the cryptocurrency will generate better returns than just holding cash. They even raised additional money to purchase more Bitcoin, showing a deep commitment to their strategy. In December 2024, Bitcoin saw another massive price increase and finally appears to reach mainstream investors after exceeding the psychological barrier of $100,000. By the end of the year, MicroStrategy is the company holding the most Bitcoin, by a mile. Over the last 4.5 years, they accumulated nearly 450,000 coins, or more than 2% of all available Bitcoins that can ever be generated. For their position, they paid $23 billion over the years, are now worth more than $84 billion. If you enjoyed this video, I would be really happy if you press like and leave a comment. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications.